want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. They are an excellent resource for all of your Magic needs. You can go to cardkingdom.com and pre-order War of the Spark stuff. You can get all the stuff you need for the decks you're building. You can get sealed product to do some limited with your friends. And they compete with the best on every single axis you can name. And they usually win on it. So they're my favorite card store, and they sponsor me, and I couldn't be happier about that. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Let's confirm this purchase, and I'm gonna check the chat here. Here, I'll open these though. Nice job, Short Wes. Protagos asks what my average win rate from these sealed games was. We didn't really track on Tuesday when we were just blitzing the queues. We would play a couple rounds, resign from the event, and replay because they were all free from the sponsored WotC account. Yesterday we went what I felt was a disappointing 5 and 6. We went 3 and 3 and then 2 and 3 in a sealed. But small sample size. We'll see where we end up here. SCG Wakula. The fact that there isn't a consistent rule of thumb that you have to think contextually about the effect makes it great. Yeah, it's true. That's what I like about that. It's a really open-ended design. Scooter Rules says, I've struggled with Proliferate. I often couldn't get enough value out of it. It was probably just due to my inadequate build. You certainly need to look around and see what you have to proliferate, but even a couple, the proliferating planeswalkers is so powerful. If you can get there, great. It's going to be, proliferate is also contextual depending on the payoffs you have for it in your deck. But there's a lot of them here. You just got to make sure you have that density. And then if you don't get too hung up on some initial bad results, that's probably just some variance for you. Proliferate has been very strong for me in the games we've played so far. And Proliferate gives you this feeling of fear when you see your opponent's uncommon planeswalkers at 1 loyalty. When they're in that mode of sitting there with nowhere, can't go down, can't go up, sitting there with a static effect. Proliferate says you might want to attack that planeswalker dead anyway because you don't want to let your opponents untap. We got some. Check this stuff. Wow, we got some sweet spells. This is the first I've actually seen of the Elder spell, but I've heard about this. Check that out. I want to play everything. I'm looking at this and I'm hoping that we get lots of fixing. I want to play 5-color good stuff. Hey, Tim Nose. Valhallas, hello. Yeah, I had Prismite in my pool, and I was like, oh, sweet, this look. Oh, and then I was like, oh, wait, that says 2. Yeah, that card's is, I mean, it's effectively a 2/1 for 2 with a very marginal ability. I don't think I'm going to play that in sealed because I think it's too slow for a 2/1 for 2 to be worth that. Yeah, keeping it surreal. I don't like sealed as much either, but this is what we have in the new set, so I'm going to suck it up. Halajay has really struggled with this format. My only previous sealed experience was Guilds and Allegiance. I can't really figure out how to play this format right. Yeah, well, we're all gonna. It's gonna be a struggle. But I do think it is about the planeswalkers, and so it makes it about evasion, ramp, proliferate. I mean, all this stuff. But that evasion key and having enough creatures to defend your planeswalkers, I think, is a big point. Valhallas is having a lot of success with Ashiok. Kerbatic says, this format is pretty complex for sure compared to any recent format, really. You're not the only one who's confused. No kidding. I made a comment I was chatting with Nick Davidson texting with him last night, and was saying that WotC's R&D's ability to stick to the New World Order and lower complexity mandates is like me sticking to my improve my diet stuff, like, which is to say that I actually do it a lot of the time, but then I'm very good at coming up with justifications and rationalizations for abandoning my principles and going hog on something. So this kind of feels like WotC diving into the donuts after a nice diet of well-rounded, healthy meals, you know? Yeah, we're going to try and play this Elder Spell. This doesn't seem very good, no. I mean, at a baseline, 2/5 for 3 is playable, especially... I mean, if we're red-green, I'm playing this, but like relative to this other stuff, it's not good, yeah. Banana Jack asks, when should someone play Quench? I would play Quench in an aggressive, tempo-oriented Simic deck. When you're trying to win with just overwhelm with your Simic and get your +1/+1 bounce their thing going and just do all that, you know, that's when I think Quench is good. Or playable, I should say. Halajay's going to wait for traditional draft. That's fine. Just open Gods. That's good advice. Ray Trago, glad you're here. Ral Infinite Combo went 3-2 last night. Greg asks, do you think Gods and Finales are worth splashing with 4 sources of fixing? I normally would call that too inconsistent with their double color requirement, but they're just so nuts in power level, I feel like it might be worth rolling the dice. Somewhat depends on your fixing. In particular, if you have the land one, I'm going to look it up, I have the list here. New Horizons. New Horizons is a double color splash fixer. So if you have 2 or 3 of those, then I like that much better. 4 sources to splash a double color spell that you intend to cast on like turn 11 or 12 is still very risky. At turn 11 or 12, you're like halfway through your deck, which means you're only like about 50-50 to have 2 sources. And especially if you're using sources like the Nurturer, creature-based sources, those creatures can die. That happened to me when we had the Great Fixing. It's like, oh, we have Great Fixing, except they then killed all of it, and now we just have a baseline color. So yeah, Limited is hard to watch early. I mean, I like it on Arena because we get to take it nice and slow and look at every card and have a discussion, but unless they need to get like maybe some automated systems that can auto read cards and auto put cards up on screen. I think if you put humans, it's just too slow. Anyway, all right, we've made it to the bottom of the chat. Let's figure out what's going to go along with these sweet planeswalkers of ours. Let's check this. Return to. Yeah, that's not too great, is it? Actually, if we can't manipulate the top of our library, I mean, I guess it's a -3 draw card, but with repeat potential. But this feels like maybe weak, more constructed aimed. Time Wipe is very nice We can get that going. Yeah, maybe between this, and this, as someone said, there's an Esper build we can look for. Because that means we need fixing in our artifacts, so let's go see if we have it. I'm going to actually start there. Now that we've seen our rares, let's go straight to the artifacts and see what we come up with. We have the Geode and the Guild Globe, so that's helpful. What's this? It's okay. I don't like playing that. I think that hurts your mana too much to play. And let's check green just in case I want to see. We have the New Horizons. But doesn't look like any other real fixing. So maybe this isn't a green build. All right, so let's then look. It can be awkward to build sealed decks on Arena. What I've come to do is obviously you start with the rares in that first screen, but then I like to go to look at everything but the commons, because it mostly fits on screen and also shows you some of your most powerful stuff, can help you narrow it down. Like we were thinking Esper, and this is great because then I get to just look here and see where our uncommon power might be in those colors. And this is all of our colors, and let's look like we see some good Esper uncommons here with Rescuer Sphinx. The Wanderer is definitely playable. Rally and Bo1, not so much. Let's see. Vizier of the Scorpion. That's probably worth it. I'd like to give that a try. Play that Time Wipe. That seems fine. Target permanent. At least this gets Planeswalkers. Trouble is with single card removal for Planeswalkers is that they've always gotten some value out of it. They've used their Planeswalker once already. Sometimes, again, you don't care. You do what you got to do. But just keep in mind that really you want to try to make sure you have tools in your deck to attack Planeswalkers. I think that's the best way to try and deal with them. And looking like here's double blue, here's double white. Maybe we can be blue, white, splash, black for like the. But Elder Spell wants double as well. So we have power. We have power and double color. Still might try and make it work, but that's a little bit of a concern. Esper means white, blue, black. Yes, it's a magic slang for that color combination from the debut in the set Shards of Alara. All right, so then another way, so after doing that check, then you can reset everything and start looking at things color by color. And then everything fits on screen. And so I want to look at red since it's kind of the color we haven't really looked at. Just make sure there's nothing so amazing in here that we feel like we just have to reconsider. But no, what would make me think red is amazing is a bunch of its damage-based removal spells, and I don't see any of that here. So we can pretty much eliminate red. And let's look at our white and start to put in the cards that we would be happy to play. This is fine. Again, even any flyers, this is good to me. Like, even a 1-power flyer can properly pressure a Planeswalker to an annoying degree. And, oh yeah, did we get actual? Yeah, we just had the Emergent Zone. So I'm much higher on a 1/3 flyer for 3 in this set for 2 than I think I've ever been, ever. Wanderer seems playable. Maybe white is our splash. Not a lot of depth here to the white, feels like. I'll put Huatli in, but it's a very specific ability that I don't necessarily think we'll end up wanting. I'll put that in for now. Oh, Wanderer Strike is great, though. Right. Yeah, we'll take that. How much do I like flyers? Do I like it so much that I'm playing a Theater Strix? Maybe. It may be so important to play flyers that we're grudgingly going to call Sky Theater Strix without the payoff really playable. I don't know. I think it's they're so important. So important. Card drawing, great. Weird is great. Rescuer Sphinx, great. This is a single card solution to a Planeswalker that does leave a couple counters behind, is probably playable, but is not. I'm not super excited by that card, but I like that and that. Spark Harvest, great. Thirst, playable. Elder Spell, playable. Cruelty, yeah, I'm starting to think white is our splash here because there's some nice nice cards here. Games are going long enough that I could see this working, but it's not insane. Like, this could be a liability. That I don't know if you're getting that activation off too many times. I think this is fine. This is decent. Fine. This is pretty good in this format. I've been liking Herald as well. The Laptop Behemoth is just so-so. It's not really what's important. This is hard to argue with it replacing itself. It's just still on a spot in the curve that I don't know how valuable that really is for us. Whereas I do think Vraska is solid. You don't like this vampire? Yeah, I just don't think you're getting the 7 off that much. And so then you're looking at a 2-1 for 2. You really like this guy, Alpha? Let's see where he fits in the curve. That's my concern. I just have felt like big beefy things on the ground just haven't been what this format has been worried about. Like, again, there's a lot of Death Touch, a lot of expendable army tokens. It does replace itself, but that was my concern there. All right, so if we call... Oh, and let's check... Got to get our Geode and this Globe in, and Karn. Oh, do we? Maybe Karn isn't playable. Let's see. Is it artifact-based? Until your next turn, up to one target non-creature artifact becomes... Yeah. Yeah, actually, this isn't really playable, is it? All right. We did. We looked at green as well. We can do a quick glance to show. We had basically New Horizons as the only source of legit fixing in green. So, not good enough. But I think this has a nice solid base here. Let's see what we want to do with it. Thank you for the sub, Alpha. So let's assume we're splashing white. Or sorry, what do we say? Yeah, splashing white. We have some good removal, so let's cut that. Probably want D-Spark, though. And we can think about, maybe we don't even play the time wipe. Which one are you talking about? Oh. Is it good early though, or is it just playable early? It's the kind of thing where I just don't want to run this into 1/1 army tokens and the like. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's see how often we would like to have something like that in the deck. And I think actually we don't need Stealth Mission. We have Elder Spell and D-Spark for reaching out and killing Planeswalkers as needed. Where does this put us? Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about in my intro. Like, we still have we have 6 cuts to make, and we're at 12-17. You know. But let's play our best stuff, right? Maybe we don't play the Wanderer even. Definitely not Huatli then. Maybe you have to cut Toll, even though I like it in Sealed. I like Gleaming Overseer fine. Some of them. Oh, I like Toll, but we have, I mean, we got choices to make. I'm reticent to remove creatures. And yes, Vraska creates a creature, so that kind of counts as a creature. We can think of that as an extra, but not all of the, you know, this is our only Planeswalker we're playing, right? So it's not like it's obvious. Worst creature, Callous Dismissal. Maybe Callous Dismissal goes. Maybe even Guild Globe goes. And we really reduce the white splash to like the Wanderer's Strike. Except then I just kind of actually want the Geode to go and we keep in Guild Globe. Or maybe we just cut. What if we just went. Can we just go straight blue-black? Maybe the white splash is not so good that we even need to worry with it. And then we would need... Oh yeah, like I like this. I just missed that dude. Now I kind of just want to be lean, mean, blue-black. We might run the Guild Globe in that anyway. Augur. What does the Augur do for us? Because it's instant and sorcery. I mean, it is a 1/3, which is not the worst, but really want it in the air. Let's see. We have 4 and 5. Yeah, Augur's actually solid to find something here. I don't generally like playing it, but 9 is legit. That's basically, it's close to 1 and 4, a little under 1 and 4. And Augur looks at the top 3. So better chance than most. Yeah, that's the other thing. We could maybe rather than play that, we play Toll and Augur and find something else to cut, because then Augur has 10 things to find. And in that case, maybe we keep that in because it does provide at least some biggish butt for the higher end. We could cut a creature. Maybe Spark Reaper. Seer. I think that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think we have to play the Strix. I was thinking about it, but it's pretty weak. But let's start it. I think I want to find out if this is how important flying is. I have a feeling that flying is so important, we're going to be happy to play this. And also, to be fair, we have currently 10 instants or sorceries plus Vraska, so there's actually 11 triggers for the Strix. So it's going to attack as a 2/2 for 2 a decent amount of the time, especially if we need to, you know, if we really need it to. We could cut. Yeah, I think I like the Strix. So yeah, maybe Spark Reaper. But it can sack the all these little amass things we have. I like that. Maybe an Elder Spell isn't cut land easy, sir. Sure, just cut land. All right, let's do this and get playing, Ryan. You need to find something. What's your worst card? Maybe it is just Toll. Or No Escape. Like, Toll. These do similar jobs. Cut. Charity Extractor. Yeah, okay, let's try cutting one No Escape. Ah, but I really like him though. It's good. It's too good. This is so hard. Maybe a Herald. Herald's good too though. See, it's very hard to make this final cut, I think. Toll is excellent in sealed. That's why it's still in the deck. That's why I'm bouncing around anxiously, because I can't figure out what should disappear from this deck. You want the Charity Extractor did some good stuff. I guess since we're not really defending our own Planeswalkers, we could... Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Planeswalkers. Like, it's gonna... it'll get something, but you do make the good point that, like... that... What I've been saying is, like, you can destroy Planeswalkers, but if you do it with a spell instead of attacking, they've already gotten a lot of value out of the Planeswalkers, so that you could definitely make an argument for cutting that, which is funny because we were kind of following our rares into here, and the only rare we end up keeping was the Enter the God Eternals. But I do like this deck, and let's get on with it. So we'll go with this, and let's see. Enter the War. Go enter the woo. Is this right? Yeah, with Thirst it is. Looks good. Okay. All right. Thanks again to my sponsor, Card Kingdom. Let's get into here and start playing. And I have been in this corner while playing. I assume Deckmaster is still... Hey, thank you, Dr. Bacon. Really appreciate that sub. Using your Prime on me. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is keepable. Deckmaster's working, huh? Let me know. 3-month sub. Thank you. Emergence Zone. What? I don't even. Is that the land? I chose not to play that land. Yeah, if that's what we're talking about. Okay, it was working on Mobius's, then it ought to be working on mine. At least I did restart it. Is it? No, I can go check myself. Huh? It doesn't seem to be. Let me try restarting it on my end. Maybe I need to reinstall. Might be a. If that's the case, and I need to do an install, we'll do that after this game. So now I've reloaded Deckmaster, so let me know. Oh yeah, Twitch pub sub sending messages successfully. That's not working, so probably not working for me, but I think I need to download the upgrade or something. Well, we were hoping to get some land, we didn't find it. Ob Nixilis should show up here. Get in on this bird fight. Alright, land, that's what we needed. We can play out a creature or leave up No Escape. I think I like the creature here. Yeah, right? Sorry. Fiddles points out that earlier I was talking about the need to keep the pace here so that I build up some hourglasses. So I will focus on that a little bit more here. Yeah, the 5 mana 3/3 that amasses 2 and makes zombie tokens fly is a premier uncommon for blue for sure. the thing, Willhouse, is that when we have Deck Master, it doesn't matter because you hover over those cards and they're easily readable. But right now we don't have Deck Master going, so that's making that a little more awkward. I'm pretty content that they used Transmutation on our 3-drop. Let's throw this one out now. Thanks, Rob. Really appreciate the sub. Oh, the 2/2 flyer that amasses one. That's good as well. I will take I'll take anything that flies and amasses. How about that? Says flying and amass on it, I'm in. No attacks here, though. Way to build up your hourglasses there, Ryan. Hey, look. Let's rescue our Spark Reaper. Or they got a lot of mana up. Maybe we should be a little cagier here. I think I'm going to offer them Herald over the Rescuer. Okay, that worked. Just wanted to test those waters. That's a lot of open mana and a lot of cards to run out the current best card in your hand into. So I just played it a little safer there.
The crueler the opponent, the sweeter the victory. I'm gone for now. I'm not, but not forever. They're afraid of me.
So we could now sack our token to get rid of the War Screecher so that Strix can attack Kaya for 2. Again, like I wasn't, we're like, should we remove this? Like, this is how important flyers are, right? And I think we do that. I was going to bring the Reaper back, but I really want to get this War Screecher out of the way and get Kaya below the ability to, we can still, we'll wait. I'll just sacrifice the token. I could attack with Death Touch, but I really like this because it's clean and guaranteed.
Lucky hit.
And I'm gonna do this. I could destroy the Planeswalker, yes, but I like destroying, like, Kaya can't attack. Kaya can't minus right now, so I think we are kind of just. I would rather destroy the creature and attack the Planeswalker. Trying to decide no escape or triumph, and I'm going to do triumph. Yeah, we can hold up the counter, but I also want more land. Maybe it's more important to hold up the counter, because then if they do something like proliferate, we can still guarantee it. Yeah, I like no escape counter here. Scry to try and find our land, and then next turn we have Jace's Triumph to activate Strix and finish off Kaya. It's a sorcery. And I'm fine with just taking this. Because I'm going to save the Reaper with the Rescuer Sphinx. Well, I'm going to try Triumph here. They couldn't counter anything before. I want to get this Strix to 2, and now we finish off Kaya. I'm not going to mess around, actually. If they have removal for the Theater Strix, I would like these other 2 to finish the job. We're playing a controlling game here. Their life total right now is less important to me than controlling this board and setting up our long game advantage. Yeah, I'm not sure what Oppo's up to. Maybe they're playing more than 3 colors. If so, I guess we find out now. Yes, Triumph is essentially a divination most of the time, and that's quite a playable card, right?
Always a step ahead.
Jace.
Let's think this through.
We don't really care about being milled at all. Like, Jace just doesn't do much. Like, who cares? Oh, I guess they drew a card, though. That's fine. Yeah, it's pretty good that they draw a card there, I guess. Why don't we... We could enter the God Eternals, kill the Populace, and get in pretty good. Let's do that. And then target player puts the top 4 cards of their library in their graveyard. Do we have graveyard? Yeah, we have Spellkeeper Weird. I'm going to do myself. Yeah. Oh, it was their turn. That was bad. I thought Pouncing Lynx always had first strike. I would have attacked with both, because there's no way they would have blocked and traded their Pouncing Lynx for one of our 1/1s. All right, something's going to prison. Could be worse than losing an amass token. We will build it stronger, better than before. Or however that goes. I'm old. Do we bounce the Reaper yet with the Sphinx? Or maybe Toll while they still have a card? Let's see what they've got here. Does that make sense? Playing the control game here. Yeah, it was land. I figured that was like one of our last chances to get value, and we also still get to send everybody at Jace.
Well played.
So we don't get to rescue that dude anymore, but Oppo effectively used 2 cards on that, which seems fine to me. Just don't want to lose to the milling. And I think if we take out Jace here, stop that milling, and then get our Rescuer Sphinx on, we can win from here. I've put ourselves, 11 cards is not a ton, so we got to be careful. And how do I do that? Let's go Cruelty. Actually, Cruelty doesn't matter. No, it kind of does. We really want to get Jace right now, so I'm going to do it. Mainly, I just want to trigger the Strix. Yeah, we can do that too, yeah. Basically, getting rid of this, triggering this, playing this is all good. It all helps us apply the pressure we're going to need to. Oh, what's that? They actually drew something. All right, that's pretty good for them. We can recast our Cruelty, which we're now going to really have to do to get rid of Jace. All right, now we have like 10 turns to deploy this, protect it, deploy these 2, protect them, and get on and get this game won. I'm gonna go Even Eternal. And then we'll bounce the Vizier. Replay that. I'd rather have no escape up than the weird right now. It's not contributing, although the weird does let us get back something to then really close the game out. I'm going to do it, like, because the stuff that would really end us is like a sweeper that can't be countered with this anyway. If they resolve a creature or a planeswalker, likely the Spellkeeper Weird will let us bring something back to deal with it. And by the way, I had mentioned that my son is working on new memes, or at least one new meme. He needs the weekend to get it where he wants it, so we'll try and debut it on Monday instead. Hey, Strength. Oh, my record stuff is incorrect. Sorry about that. We'll fix it now. I said on the stream yesterday that it was, I admitted it had to do with the Oingo Boingo song Weird Science, so I think you can probably figure it out from there. Looks great. Looks even greater. Oh, I was going to go try and reload Deckmaster. Maybe it's not worth it. It's probably worth it, but I should see if I can download an update. Maybe I'll uninstall properties. Oh, see, this is where I don't want to lose my timing. We could go Toll, but let's get a creature out. Oh, I gotta close it. Cancel. Close. What do we got here? Neheb, Dreadhorde Champion. Seems nasty. But we can't do anything about it right now. So let's make sure... Oh, actually we can. We can just Spark Harvest it. Let's do that. We'll Spark Harvest it, but I want to toll the... oh, yeah, and let's do this first. See, sequencing is... And I've roped. You know, like... It's a tough format. Sequencing is tough in this format. Especially when I'm trying to uninstall software, chat with chat, and etc., etc. Yo, Lamdeal. Whoa. This is the thing I want least to resolve against me right now, so I'm going to take that. I know they don't have the mana for it yet, but I'm going to assume they're going to find it. And when they do, I don't want that to be in their hand. Yeah, like I should have attacked first, right? Because I forgot Menace. It's just there's so many little things. Like we missed a point of damage. Oppo should be at 18. I'll get better at it as the format goes on, but yeah, it is no jokes. This is a nice play here, though. And with the weird, we're definitely going to target ourselves. I mean, it worked out, but like, it's, wow, there's a lot of sequencing. Minimum number of creatures I would run depends somewhat on the number of planeswalkers I have. The more planeswalkers you have, the more you need creatures to protect them with, which is ironic because then that squeezes out like everything else. So be careful of that. We're going to have to make some judicious choices about our planeswalkers, I think, not just run everything. Let's claim that though, and then yeah, give me 1 second here. Let's see if I can't uninstall Deckmaster. It's close. It's oh, stop it. It's not. Okay, close that window. There we go. Just going to do a full uninstall, reinstall. It's not. It's telling me it's running. Let me do... See if I can find it in my processes. It's not here either, though. Yeah. Some make creatures, so as Nick says, yeah, be careful. Like when you're counting your creatures, you can count some of your planeswalkers if they create good creatures, but not all of them. Let's try. Okay, well, let me try actually running it, and maybe it'll let me close it if I rerun it. Sorry for this delay here, but if we can get Deckmaster back up, it's real good for your experience. I want to... Well, let me go at least download the new one. Download. Download zip. It's going to tell me it's already installed or something. No, that's the thing. Gross Bill is like, no, it would have been a mistake to attack. Gross Bill, our token had Menace. And we missed a point. Because Menace was the last thing we were thinking about in trying to sequence the other 4 things on that turn. It's a complicated set. The 1/4 did not have Menace, correct, which is why we would have not attacked with the 1/4, but we would have attacked with the 1/1. Oh, sorry, we're just talking about different math. They were at 19, and we missed a point, right? You get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm certainly in my range to be completely wrong about this, but my memory of that turn is that we had a 1/1 Menace and a 1/4 non-Menace, and Oppo... Oh, I hit with the 1/4 after. Okay, that's fair. Yes, I didn't think it all the way through. Thank you. But it does continue to serve the point that this is a complicated set. Like, we won the game, but it's like figuring out perfect turns in this format is going to be sneaky. You are correct, Gross. I got there. Took me a minute, but I got there. Now let me see. Okay, I've got the Deckmaster downloaded. Let's move it here. All right, it's loading or installing. I think. Okay, now it's installing. See if it believes me. Okay, we're close. Hopefully this works. I have installed an update and loaded it. Okay, I think we're good. Yes, the thing that was red before is now green, and I think we have Deckmaster. Thank you, Deckmaster. Update our record. Looks fine. Let's see if Luis is right. Luis's joke about this card is that its rules text is look at the bottom 3 cards of your library. Because you always whiff. We have a lot of instants and sorceries in this deck, though, so we have a solid shot at hitting. Roll them bones. One time, dealer. Yeah! Suck it, Luis. He's very right about it, though. It's a trap card that you generally shouldn't play, but a 1/3 for 2 isn't the worst with our, like, pretty solid chance of hitting the old sorcerer instant. Here we could toll early, but I don't think this is. I want this in sealed so we get their 6 mana stuff. We have a couple of turns to fire this off within the range that I want to, and in fact, by waiting, you give them a few more draws to find their high mana stuff that you're trying to get. Of course, 4 mana is where those God Pharaohs start, so you got to be careful there. Yeah, I should have attacked. We could have threatened the attack. Yeah, that would have been fine. I like that. So they should be at 19. There's no way they block knowing our thirst is in hand. That would have been something I would have told.
Empty your mind.
How do we get it from here? Probably. Yeah, there's a 4 CMC. We at least get to attack Davriel. Even. I think we have to give up on the toll, though. Now. Now we could ditch the swamp if we have to, but at least we get an attack here, and if they block the 1/1, or block the 2/2, like, if they save Davriel, we at least get to kill the Diviner. Wait, toll is so expensive. Toll at 3 mana. It's fine. It's typical. That's a typical price for that effect. And it's got a little upside. Doesn't have Death Touch, do it? Does it? I didn't think so. This is an option too. I'm fine with them taking this option, letting Davriel die and getting a card off him. I think that's better for us than losing another card.
Our contract is voided.
Yeah, maybe I should play Rat Burglar meme every time I do Toll of the Invasion, since it's basically a Rat Burglar with that you get to choose, right? Yeah. Amass 1 is a very legit tack-on to a given spell. That's my favorite common in the set so far. Oh. Okay, it is working. It's working at least on my hand. Deckmaster's not quite working for me on the battlefield, but at least you can scan my hand, right? Oh no, it is showing. It's just down below. Okay, yeah, at least you can zoom in. The long game doesn't look too good, so let's do this. Let's play a short game, and I will continue to mill myself with this effect since we have instants and sorceries to get back with our weird.
This
isn't a fight you can win. Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, the amass is really interesting. Really interesting. I never like it's so cool when how much that amass was some percentage of several different cards, you know? This time we're going to presume we're good. Attack like so.
It's only a matter of time.
Deckmaster, at least if you scroll to the bottom of your screen, will let you browse through the cards on the battlefield. So if you want to zoom in on the stuff that's active, it does work for that. And maybe that's intentional. Like it could be a switch in how he's approaching Deckmaster instead of having to go to the battle row for that stuff or whatever. I'm gonna thirst our own Aven to prevent everything else on that spell from happening. Oh no, never mind. Happened anyway. Fancy play syndrome. You can call that a punt. That just didn't work the way I thought it was. I forgot that since I was a legal target, it would resolve as many of those things as it could. I was thinking that by doing that, it would fizzle. Too bad. Well, let's see if we can still close this out. Yeah, they didn't get the life gain, though, but that's still a punt. We didn't want that. I wouldn't have used that for... I wouldn't have given up that Soren's Thirst just for life gain. Let's see. Spark Reaper. Oh, yeah, let's not forget about the activated abilities I have. I like it. Maybe that's more... Yeah, it's more important than the Extractor, I think, here to... take a look at what else we might have. I don't have anything that's giving that a special ability, right? I don't know what attack and sack means. It felt like that was not... Okay, we can do this, though. I'm going to sack the Augur for that. Oh, maybe that's what it happened. It's just showing my starting hand over and over again. Let me try a restart of Deckmaster. Looks like it's competing with itself here. Hold on. I misinterpreted what was happening with Deckmaster, but hopefully we can get it back in a second here. I wanted to keep my biggest attack power and something that if they kill is still a good threat. Like we can attack in the Herald here now. Like if we had sacked the Herald, we'd have a 2/2 and it wouldn't be able to attack, but the Herald can actually attack here, so that's good. Because a 3/3 wasn't good enough at that point in time to make it through the 4/4, right? And then we drew a card to kill the 4/4, but at the time, making a 3/3 wasn't getting us through. Yeah, I'm just going to play it out. No need to have Davriel take that card out of our hand or whatever. And plus this leaves us activation mana, so definitely correct. Alright. That's a problem. Kind of lose if it attacks. And I'm wondering, let's see. we have in our deck, basically the question here is, do we activate this Reaper on the token because we're desperate to find an answer for this? And if so, what is that answer and how are we trying to win this game? We have Callous Dismissal that would set it back. I can't remember if that's creature or non-land permanent. Maybe it doesn't work. Rescuer Sphinx doesn't do anything. Spellkeeper Weird doesn't do anything fast enough. Alright, so Callous Dismissal is our answer. And if we find it, what does that even do for us? We bounce, I guess we bounce it and buy a turn. I think we have to reap the, the army looking for Callous Dismissal. Is there anything that can... What do we have that can get through? Like, we do have a couple of turns after they do this. This is bad news. But I think... Yeah, in fact, I even think that the correct play here is to... wait, probably to attack first. Let's do... an attack with the Extractor. It's basically a free attack. If they double block it, we get to Spark Reaper it anyway. Just want to make sure this is on my mana terms. Yeah, it's not going to be enough for us. So now it becomes whether there's something that can evade through a bunch of angels, and I just don't see it in what we have left in our hand, unfortunately. But I will still play the weird and play it out. I suppose if we get something back next turn, maybe it's not over, like... we figure out how to make that work. Anyway, we'll see if... yeah, -5 might clear the way for us. Trouble is they're at 4, and we're only putting 3 power on the battlefield, so even if we somehow miraculously cleared away everything... Well, what is... do that so that we can... Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So we have a... If we can get through the angels... Ah, well. How to lose a game where you're at almost 30 life. Yep, that's all that one. I think this is playable in sealed. You can see that our games are going super long basically every time. It's rough to have that early if they do apply some pressure, but I haven't really seen a ton of early pressure that just closes it out. So I do think you can play that. And obviously it's just stupid if you can attack with it once. I don't know about draft. I think in a ramp strategy, yeah. I think there's so much ramp in this set that we're going to be able to have decks that play 8-drops. But I wouldn't play an 8-drop in draft without ramp. I would give it a build around C. It's not just throw it in your deck. If you're going to play that vehicle, you need to really plan. You need to be planning to play a long game. It should be considered your inevitability that you're working toward. and you need to start picking things to get to it but I think it's not an F. To me, an F is just like, there's never a justification for putting this in your deck. Yo, Vaporkin, welcome. Yeah, we'll keep this. I like the build around grade because it just it reinforces that it does not just go into any deck. Whereas I consider like, hey, it's a D+. It's like, well, it goes into any deck, but it's just not that, it's not very good, you know? But splitting hairs, mincing words, it's actually why I was personally, I didn't want to do grading scales when I was on LR because of this, because it's like, I think it muddies the water instead of clarifying the water. Mincing hairs, yeah. Mincing hairs is very difficult. Have you ever tried that? Saute them up. Let's see. We can keep no escape up. I think we just attack. We play the Eternal. Yeah, Sandstorm Convergence was in a similar place. You basically never played it in draft, but it was one of the better finishers you could have in Hour of Devastation Sealed. And I say Hour of Devastation Sealed because that's where it got super grindy, long game, you can play your 8 drops. Thank you all for hanging with me. I don't know how the Mythic Championship is going, but thought I'd provide a little alternative here, especially if you're not into Modern and just want to see about drafting the new set, where they're kind of in Modern town now, right? I'm definitely curious how they're doing, but I'm even more curious about how this set ticks. All right, plan your turn, Ryan, instead of just willy-nilly. All right, we're going to attack with our flyers, and we're going to play our Charity Extractor over Keeping Up No Escape, and if we draw land next turn, we'll play Reaver and Keep Up No Escape. Yeah, Rob points out that the Oasis Ritualist was the key to unlocking all that big mana stuff in Hour Sealed. And you could do it in Hour Draft as well. You're not wrong, Rob. But it was the thing that also unlocked it in Sealed. But and we did find the land, so it looks like we're following through on the play I indicated before. In fact, we play this pre-combat. The army becomes at attacking strength. Oppo has all 5 colors of mana, 5 cards in hand, and 5 mana available, though, so we're expecting shenanigans. I don't even know the set enough yet to really understand what shenanigans we may be playing around here. But I'm going to go ahead and send in our flyers. Yeah, right now everything we have can technically get through, or has a good attack, so I'm going to give it a try. And wait for... Nothing with flash in 5 colors with 5 mana? I think... Is there just literally no flash? That's fine. I'm gonna take out the Reaver. Maybe I'm supposed to go for the army there, because that can grow. But it also leaves it as a single target for us to go after. That's crazy to me, folks, that Oppo could have 5 mana available in literally all 5 colors and not do anything? It could just be flooded and have a 6-drop or something like that. I don't know. Didn't get a land, so if we play one of our creatures, we can't keep No Escape up. Maybe worth it. We have no activated abilities, right? Let's... Well, certainly we're going to attack first and see what they want to do. Oh, we could amass, although it would make a token that couldn't attack anyway. So yeah, we're just going to attack first and see what they're up to. Six drop indeed. Couldn't even No Escape it. It was not counterable anyway. And zombie tokens we control have Death Touch. That seems like an excellent card to have against a 7/7. And so again, yeah, if I had killed the token instead of this dude, we would now be facing a 6/6 and a 1/2, and that's just kind of, I feel like the 7. I'd rather face the 7/7. Too bad we had to go shields down on No Escape, though. But I feel like we had to put a Death Toucher threatening this huge army. Possibly. Could just be that they flooded a bit and didn't have anything else to do, or they have some reactive stuff and they didn't want to use any removal on here. Although, you know, even Eternal is probably worth removal, but especially when you're at 8 life. I'm not sure what's going on in that hand. Sure seems unlocked. I mean, I guess you can't cast a white spell, but what else are you trying to do? That would be... Yeah, sure would have been nice to counter the hexproof dude. Didn't happen. I'm gonna triumph and look for another land to keep the No Escape up. No luck. We do have Callous Dismissal, and let's use that on that nasty old token. And we have attacks on the ground. Since we're at a comfortable life total, we don't care if this cracks back. Presenting lethal in the air. Let's see what they can do about that. We do have Swarm Eminence that will trigger Sky Theater Strix. Yeah, there's a lot of incidental life gain, and that makes
God, once again.
Nickel does some stuff.
But I am Death's master.
Let's see. Do we need to worry about the +1? We don't really care if they plus Nicol Bolas next turn. They draw a card. And we have to have something to exile. We can keep... I don't even want to keep the swamp. I want to trigger Strix. Although, we don't need to trigger Strix this turn. We go 1 point this turn, and then Vraska 2 points the next turn. And if we have to exile something from our hand. I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna let Bolas live. Oh, exile land and play. Okay, okay, that's good to know. Alright, I'm gonna go after life total. If the Strix lives, we should be able to win this one. And I'm gonna go weird with no escape up then. Since we can, a permanent, we can just get rid of one of these lands to nickel right now, if we need to. That's true, gotta keep that in mind. I'm hoping to just trigger Theater Strix for the win, that's plan A. And yeah, we can exile land here, I think.
I have other plans. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
Well, you have a weakness I'm trying to exploit, which is no flyer defense. Yeah, I was hesitant to play this, but especially with all these instants and sorceries and the nature of this format, the Strix is even doing work. Important work. Hopefully Oppo is in the tank because they don't have anything in these 3 cards to manage a Strix. I am going to go for the win. If this fails to work, Oppo could end up with Vraska-enabled Bolas, but this is plan A, so let's execute. I'll go till about 11:50 or so. Actually, I can go to about noon. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And that's why I did this too. Like, there shouldn't be. It should be. It still makes the Strix get big. And I'm definitely doing that. And then the question is, are there other attacks we should add to it just to make sure? And the answer is no, nothing gets through there, so we just have to hope the Strix is enough. It was not. Alright, we took that chance. Now we gotta come back to muster here. We can get back Jace's Triumph. And let's see. I think this would be a pretty good one to be able to land. And I don't know what keeping, although we may want, yeah, I'm going to ditch the giant because then next turn we can have weird and no escape up.
Let your weak mind.
And I don't want to go down on any more lands here. I could have lost like the Vizier or something, but I think having any number of creatures is going to be useful with Oppo at 2. Trying to find the last 2 points here. It's not obvious, although that's pretty bold. I can see why they'd be bold when they get to add literally 2 more bodies to the table there. We keep not having no escape available. And yeah, now I'm feeling pretty grim. Now Bolas is ticking up, and no, it's not Dionysus. Check Monday for that. We're not able to pressure Bolas. I again think we have to just play our creature. Well, let's check. Since the weird gets this, let's make sure like we can get back Jace's Triumph. And maybe we need to do that to find some action. I think we might need to do that. I think we're in a bad spot now. We took our chance and it did not work out. Although, let me see if we get a bounce. No, even that doesn't work. All right, I'm going to go for some extra cards in desperation. Oh, but not looking good, folks. Not looking good here. And this also explains a little bit of their weirdness. They couldn't cast Nicol Bolas for a little bit there, despite their many colors. Since I don't even know what we're doing to try and win now. Like what gets us through? We got this removal. I think actually
I will
do that.
return one day.
Does it deal damage to them?
Eons ago.
I thought Enter didn't deal damage to opponent. This deck really doesn't have reach. Oh, and actually, yeah, I guess, yeah, I'd even do another sealed. I wasn't sure how healthy the viewing population would be this today with being up against the Mythic Championship, but if we have a healthy viewer count, I might do another sealed after this. I mean, we're gonna come back and win the next 5 or whatever we're at. But yeah, I think we're nearly toast here. I'm gonna take this all, which is to say, not chump the 3/3. Gleaming Overseer. Yeah, this is just not enough to get it done. Very risky of them. They must have answers, or I can't see them leaving it up to 2-card chance like this. Because we could have... That was a really bold attack from Oppo if they don't have anything else here. I mean, we don't. We're gonna die. Maybe they'll misclick and fail to block, but... One bounce spell, one removal spell, and they lose? That seems risky. Wish we could have punished them for that, if that's what they're up to. Yeah, could, like... Anything... If they show anything that, that gave them greater protection here, I'll understand the play. Right on, Raytrigo. Thank you. All right. So yeah, they had extra protection. So that makes a lot more sense. I was just gonna be really surprised if they, with such a commanding position, they gave up their they would risk it all over 2 removal spells. All right, Dimir beat Dimir. I really want another win here. I've been disappointed with our results so far. I don't even know what our results were on Tuesday when we were blasting through stuff, but we're currently 7 and 8. 7 and 8 overall in sealed on stream so far. And I would like to be above 500 at least. Yeah, we'll keep this. I think I'm playing my favorite color pair from what I've seen. There's just a lot of tools in blue and black. Yeah, you're right. They should have waited. Because if I had done anything to attempt to... 7 wins, 8 losses over the course of... this is our 3rd sealed, yeah. Found a 2-drop. We got lucky last time. We have 8. Hey, it was the same one last time too. Nice. My favorite shard in this format or in the abstract Magic sense? In the abstract magic sense, it is probably Sultai, actually. Death Touch. I could bounce that to slow their roll a bit, but let's just play the Herald. We got no attack, so... Mythic Championship is Modern because if... Wizards is in a weird spot. Modern isn't the best thing for their bottom line in terms of a format. It doesn't really promote the latest set, which is what Wizards wants you to be buying. But they made this format. It's really popular. People love it. And if you're going to say that this is a relevant format, you got to support it in your competitive play. Now... Let's get a mass. We could do this now. Maybe this is a little early to be worrying about that. We can keep up No Escape and do a Callous Dismissal. Kind of want to Spark Reaper the Augur. It's not going to do much from here. We could bounce the Augur and try and get more value. That would be funny. Sorcery. If we were to bounce one of these, it would set... I kind of like setting them back on the mana on the Prowler. Although, leave the black up. We're kind of control, so it's weird to make a tempo play. But then we can do this. Ours is bigger. This is a very powerful effect, and I want to use it on a more powerful board situation. Like, I want to save this for real, more important threats. But I'm not going to save a No Escape. We're going to always counter when we can in that kind of situation. I'm going to leave the swamp so that we have the Thirst active. We can do it even on this token here and get in for a lot. Same reasons, man. They gotta pick. At some point, they gotta pick a. They're committing to like one modern Mythic Championship. Like, wait, Dionysus. First, do you understand? Yeah. We're gonna sack the Augur. But Dionysus, do you understand the point being made about them needing to have a variety of formats and that modern needs to be in the rotation? Do you get that? Tell me you get that, and then we'll move on. Also not willing to use Enter the God Pharaoh on a light shield that we can attack through. Because Dionysus, once you accept that they are going to find a time to put Modern on the Mythic Championship calendar, then the answer is when. Like you're saying, well, it would be great. Standard would be great right now. What makes right now any different than the next set that comes out in terms of it would be great to have Standard? Like, you just want Standard because you don't like Modern, or maybe you don't play Modern. But there's a bunch of Modern players out there right now that are so happy that they're getting to see Modern being played by their Magic heroes and being respected as a championship defining format for Magic. The money comes from engagement. The money comes from assuring people that their cards have competitive value after they rotate out of Standard. Yeah, the money comes from viewership. The money comes from stickiness and retention. You know, there's a lot of reasons. Modern is a tricky beast, though, Dionysus. There's a lot of problem. It creates a lot of problems for Wizards as well. But it's kind of like their problem child. Yeah, and so once you accept that they are going to support Modern, I mean, you pick it, Dionysus. So you're like, no, make it Standard this time, and then you're what? You're gonna make it Modern next time? Okay, then you're just gonna be mad next time, or I don't know if you're mad. You know, whatever. You're going to wish it were Modern next time, or wish it were Standard next time, whenever it's Modern. So there's not really. It's not. Once you accept that you're supporting it, you got to put it somewhere, man. Both sorcery, so we can't, like, trick them, but we'll use one of these removal spells now. Why don't we... I guess we have to use this one since it is now 5 toughness over there. I'm just going to pay this. Red splash. Everybody's pretty greedy in these formats if they've got the support for it. I understand. I like to be if I can. We got a lot of stuff we can get back with this Spellkeeper. Death Sprout in Standard. Does it only get creatures? I think there's going to be too many creatureless builds in Standard to justify it main deck if it only gets creatures. I miss lethal, sorry. How did I miss lethal? Did they chump? Oh, amass 4, you're right, yeah. Well, we'll try it now. Gave him an extra turn, but it didn't cost us. But I hate giving Oppos extra turns. Very silly thing to do. Why give him a draw step? Dionysus, you say, the only moment a format is really interesting is when a new set comes in, which is why they now time all of the Mythic Championships with new set releases. So, they agree. Double blue on one of our great cards there. But we do have a 3, and we move into a 4 on anything, and if we find a single blue, we even turn this on. We're going first, though. I'm going to keep this. It's narrow, but I'm going to keep it. Maybe it'll cost me. One island deck. Just give us one island. We can get a lot done from there. I'm actually going to toll, make an army, and then next turn if we Vizier, if we don't find land, it'll at least be a 2-2, and we might be able to cripple their early game process here. Like getting rid of this ramp. Getting rid of... They don't have any blue. Yeah, we get rid of this New Horizons, and it sets them back a bit. Unfortunately, we're now stuck a little bit as well. But the pros can't use the cards now, Ryan. What do you mean? Of course, if they wanted to, they could. But maybe it's missed. Like, this is a weird timing. You're right on that, Dionysus. Usually, like, the Mythic Championship is a little bit after. It's very weird that it's on release weekend. So that's a fair point. So I think the real question is why the timing? You know, why? Yeah, I hear you. So like, why the timing? That is an interesting question, but I don't think it's a question of modern versus standard. It's a question of why this timing. Now let's start with an attack. We know what much of their hand is. We keep this in mind. This doesn't say target, right? That just says draw, but we're going to keep applying pressure. If I had 2 blue, I would go Triumph into Dismissal, but since we don't know if we're going to find more blue, so I'm going to Dismissal now. Get Swole and swing it. I suppose, Steve, like you've got a point there as well, but part of the point of a Pro Tour or a Mythic Championship advertising a new set is that you see the new set in the hands of talented top players, right? So it is weird that they're setting this up such that that's not part of their model. Do we give up a creature for 4 damage in this spot? I think maybe, but I'm going to start with the Triumph here. Didn't find blue, unfortunately. 5 black, 1 blue. It happens. This has got Death Touch, and if they want to block the Dread Horde, it becomes a 5/5 Death Touch. So I like sending both, and I'm like leaving back the well, also if they want to block the Vizier, then yes, it loses Death Touch, but they take 6, which I'm also willing to do. So I think this is a swing away. Arlen can come down now. What else have they got? They could make a contentious plan, but that doesn't do too much for them right here.
My bite is let nature guide you.
No, Dionysus, I don't. Oh, Constructed is the most interesting after new set. Yes. I thought you were saying, do you think Constructed is more interesting after new set is released than Limited is after new set is released? And that is what I was disagreeing with. Okay, with 7, we could bounce the Vizier and replay it, and this would be a 6/6. Yeah, we gotta keep in mind the Bolt Bend and not screw that up. So this is why I like trying to just keep this on the creature front. If they don't have anything that we're seeing in hand that actually stops a Rescuer Sphinx, so we're going to play that. Bounce the Vizier and replay that. They can target your token with what? What am I missing something? I hate it if I'm missing something. I don't want to miss something.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Yeah. Good point. I don't know. Spell or ability. Yeah, I suppose they could have, and then they didn't. Thank you for that sub, by the way. We're going to go straight to their face and force the double block. And then hope that the Rescuer Sphinx gets it done from there. The Sphinx doesn't target, though. It's...
Go, my children. Fight.
Good point. That's what it was. They couldn't do it because it doesn't target. This is them digging. And if this isn't an answer to a 4/3 flyer, I think we've got this one. But maybe it is. Oh, are they going to punch my flyer? Don't punch my flyer. They can't bend it because it has 2 targets. Great point, Maestro. Target creature and target player. And this says single target. So somebody in chat is reading cards. Lord knows I'm not. Yeah, well, now they're just saying, here, take it. Okay, thank you. Man. Magic is hard. GG. Fortunately, it's as hard on our opponents as it is on us. You know, Tim knows somebody's reading cards. I'm not. Somebody is, though. Hey, Tenno, how goes? By the way, I think I had my raid notifications just accidentally turned off. So, like, missing... I never knew when, like, Nox or whomever was raiding me, because I just accidentally toggled the wrong switch. But hopefully we'll actually be alerted these days if we get raided. Dionysus asks, so what if you let the pros battle right at that timing with the new cards? I don't know why. Yeah, like, because they'd have to give them the new cards. Like, if I mean, pros are ultimately customers buying product. If they wanted to change the system and say, we give pros 4x of the latest set in paper so that they can compete in our Mythic Championships, even though the set's not on sale yet, I suppose they could do that. Why not? I think that would probably be correct. Who cares? Here you go. Here, 4 playsets. Playset for. You know, you're on the freaking Mythic Championship. Like, whatever. Here's a playset. here's a playset. Go nuts. We don't really have double blue until Enter the God Eternal. So I'm going to play double black to represent Sorin's Thirst. Although that makes it pretty obvious we did not have it. We'll go Spark Reaper. One thing you can do with Rescuer Sphinx is reset Planeswalkers, so we'll probably go Herald into Vraska and try to bring our Sphinx down later. play the controlling. Did they? It seems like they're low on cards. Maybe they're rising populace. So if we block and trade, they are going to get a 3/3. I'll just say no blocks here. Deckmaster's not working still? It's working for me now. And we can attack with a Spark Reaper, since the populace is still a 2/2. And Herald I would trade off for a Battalion if they want. Nice, Hellbore. Hellebore.
I will have revenge for
Spark Reaper
Zendikar.
down, maybe? Which one do we care about? Let's trade with the populace so it doesn't get stupid. Hey, doggy. There you go, buddy. Doggy sighting. Oh, I forgot about that, huh? Ouch. Yep. Reading cards, I told you. Reading cards is for other people, folks, not me. Not me. So given that, we can't really block anymore. I guess we go after Nahiri with our zombie, at least. Yeah, a lot of mistakes in the new set. Now... Vraska, obviously a lot worse when Oppo has First Strike around. I think I just need to play this no value. Yeah, I'm going to play this no value. The value is in having a flyer to pressure planeswalkers and enable us actually deploying Vraska. I thought Kyoro's voice was okay. The Davrin, the discard dude, is the one that is nails on chalkboard for me. At least Kyoro's voice is unique in a way that doesn't send uncomfortable shivers up my spine.
The only companion I need is my blade.
So the Wanderer doesn't do much against us right now. I'm going to go with the... they tapped... I'm going to actually leave the Sphinx... Actually, we can send... I'm going to leave this back to then threaten the populace, I suppose. Yeah, we'll still attack with the Sphinx. And I'm still going to attack... Rocket, what's your problem? I'm going to attack Nahiri so that our... assassins have a chance. Well, is there a 1 mana? No, I don't have 1 mana to stop this, do they? Oh, well, I forgot that card.
You'll have to do better than that.
Wait, what? Oh, I see. I see. Well, take 5? Yeah, it's not a good card, but it... let's see what's... playing land. Just trying to figure out if we're even playing this. Vraska and double block kills the 3/2. Does it? Why? We have... It had 3 power First Strike. Yeah, I guess we do it. Make them at least divert some of the damage.
Before I make it, you need my services.
Yes, we could double block the 2/2. And we very well might. See how they attack first. If they send both at Vraska... Yeah, let's just, like... Because they send both at Vraska, we might just let Vraska die. And then attack back the Planeswalkers. If they just send the battalion, then we see where they send it. If they send the battalion at us, we just take it. If they send it at Vraska, we chump. Both at Vraska. So we could 1-for-1 with the Rising Populace and accept Vraska's death. Or we can just not block anything and accept that Vraska's death and come back with our own attacks. I think we do want to make this block no matter what. Or rather, if we let Vraska die, and I think we do want that. Let it through and try to kill both walkers, but we can. I mean, they might play a spell that prevents it, but also we don't really care about this walker that much. We only care about this one. I'm gonna do this. Will it lose Death Touch after first strike? Is this guy... Oh yeah, you're right. We may have screwed it up again. It didn't matter anyway. They had the tools to crush us.
Shadows. For now.
Forget that mistake. They didn't even matter. That mistake didn't even matter. Good call though, Velociraptor. We can still do this, though.
I have failed.
Yeah, this ain't over. We'd be in much better shape if I had read the card and not chumped when I thought I was trading. Hopefully they give us something to no escape. No, well, maybe Augur will give us something else to cast. Sorin's Thirst versus another no escape. Sorin's Thirst is an instant they would know about it. I guess we have to take the Thirst. At least it can combine with something else to help solve our problems. And where are we at on attacking? Sphinx the Wanderer, just to be done with that. Yeah, because it'll make this Thirst not work. God, this format is so complicated. Oh my gosh. So yeah, because this will make Thirst not work, we have to go after the Wanderer.
I'm done here.
Now we have probably chump trade, and then we'll Thirst next time if they attack with both. To a point. It depends on the nature of the complexity. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we'll take this trade, or try. I guess they're going to try and get something so big here that we can't trade with it between Thirst and everything else. But I think we'll still be able to... let's see, the other thing we can do is chump with Bolas and then do it. And then we have a 3-2, a 3... Yeah, it still doesn't change. I'm going to do this. The populace gets bigger, but we don't have much choice here. We got to take the trades they offer. I think this is going to be the good kind of complicated, but right now it's just the headache-inducing kind of complicated. We can't really race the 6/6. And we can't kill it without leaving back the Sphinx. And so we're going to have to try and make that offer. We can't attack anymore. Excuse me. Arcbow, legendary artifact that we cannot no escape. This becomes very good for them now. Too bad we couldn't counter it. And we can't really kill it in blue-black, so now we need to find a solution to the populace that frees up the Sphinx to start putting a clock on Oppo, because we're going to lose to this bow if we don't apply pressure soon. That certainly does not help. Not at all. Like, this can be activated at instant speed, it looks like, so that's the thing to be afraid of as well. And it makes me definitely feel like we can't attack here. We need serious action. And that's not it. Would I P1 it? Well, yeah, because I rare draft. Oh, wow. It's even something that can deal with our Sphinx. But I'll answer the question seriously. I don't know yet, because I don't know how strong green is, and I don't know how fast draft is. If draft is fast, I don't like this card. If draft is more like Dominaria, like just turn the corner and then play a 14-turn, 15-turn game, then maybe, like... I think if this were a Dominaria card, I would have taken it and prized it highly. Getting worse for us here, folks. I can't believe they're not... Yeah, they still have a chance. There you go. That's correct. Because we got nothing. We're gonna chump here. And we got nothing here, but I think we have outs. Like, there's some cards we could draw to survive a turn at least. Well, I suppose a swamp could survive a turn if they don't do anything else, but that's not the point. I mean... Easy, no problem. They're gonna play something, we'll counter it, it'll be a perfect scry, and... Alright, we're dead. Well, Triumph is where it needs to start. Classic! Wow... That just slipped away from us. Not exactly much we could have done about that one. We'll claim this prize. Crack these packs. Well, any other questions about the format? I think I'm, because I need to leave hard stop in like a half hour anyway, there's not really a sense in starting a new event. maybe I'll go grind. How about this? I need to. One of my requirements for the we have viewers here who maybe are checking in from the Mythic Invitational and aren't always on this stream. One of the things that I do is I play on.
I am hot, aren't I?
I play on 2 different